definitely not going that way. But then even after the water recedes and the rain has stopped, you've got to deal with this situation. Bastrop County is ripe with pine trees. Every now and then we will see a big plume of black smoke go up. And there's a lot of damage here at the headquarters, Robert. You got chunks of concrete blown away, you got windows shot out. Hefty price tags that make them valuable even if you can't play. You push the button and it tells you to wait. Wait. And then you'll get two different tones. But we ask, what if you're the one in the water? They say you want to lean back like you're in a recliner. You've got this roadway and then about this 1 to 2 foot drop right here. Her every move in that courtroom was really under the microscope. You get the chance to feel hotter than you ever have before. From the Stunt Ranch in Oak Hill, Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News. Shannon, Barton Hills Drive is a hilly and also curvy road. This accident happened on one of those curves right down there. You can see the tree. That's the tree that the car collided with, splitting it in two. But we just within the last few moments got security camera video from a neighbor that shows right there just how fast the car was moving. Neighbors say they also heard it moving very fast, and the damage suggests they were moving with a very high rate of speed. Carnage like this generates a lot of noise. Nina Miller says it came in two distinct sounds.
I heard a long screech and then a very heavy crash.
Then what she saw led to another sound.
And I saw a man just sitting in half a car, completely still, and I started screaming.
3 people were in the car when it went off the road, and neighbors say it sounded like they were moving with speed. But such a shocking sight isn't a shock to everyone around here.
It's no surprise at all. No surprise at all.
Dave Ryther walks his children to school in the morning and says he sees drivers going 50 in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. Neighbors think the road has become a cut-through to avoid Mopac and Lamar traffic, and that there's nothing to slow them down.
I'm aware of a number of neighbors putting in requests in the past for speed bumps, but I don't know. It's never gone anywhere.
And unless something does happen, a crash like this will stick in Dave's mind.
My kids really want to start walking to school on their own, and there's just this just solidifies my fear that there's no safety in the sidewalk.
So now we're looking back the other direction. When you're moving south on Barton Hills Drive, you come up over this blind hill, and then you have the curve where the accident happened. So somebody who was traveling very quickly would not have a whole lot of time to negotiate the curve from when they could see it coming up over this hill. And believe it or not, things could have been much worse. Barton Hills Elementary is just a block away. We're live in South Austin. Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.
KXAN's Chris Sadeghi live in Wimberley and has a story tonight of one family who took that first step. Chris?
Robert, this week we've had rain, we've had storms, we've had destruction, but then we have a day like today that reminds us that there is always a bright side.
I was on my way to Hawaii, so I got a call telling me that the house had flooded.
Had it only been a vacation ruin, Joan Jenkins would have felt lucky.
When we rounded the corner, we just burst into tears because our house has never flooded. We've owned it for over 40 years.
Things in her home were ruined, but the tree in the backyard says it all.
We figured it's probably over 400 or 500 years old, and it's gone. It's just on its side, and it just makes you think, you know, nothing's permanent.
No, nothing is. Not even sadness.
You walk around the back and you see that all the trees are gone, and then you just cry some more, and then you get to work.
Back to work, because when you look at all that's lost, you never know what may be found.
I found a love letter from my old boyfriend from college who wrote "I love you" 15 times on the same page. Hi, Terry, if you see me on TV with this.
And you want a glass half full? Just think. Next Christmas might be the best ever.
My friends keep saying we run out of things to buy you because you had everything. And I said, hey, problem solved.
But maybe the greatest thing of all,
we were going to wear identical shirts, our $4 Academy t-shirts to wear while we clean up.
Find out who your friends are.
As a team.
And you do it together. Will someone give that woman a high five? And all those volunteers, all those donations pouring in to Hays County and the Wimberley area, Joan called that inspiring. We're live in Wimberley tonight. Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.
But the one in red, northwest of Austin, San Saba County, they gave us a different reason today, and KXAN's Chris Sadeghi went there to find out more.
When contacting different counties to find out if they were issuing same-sex marriage license, San Saba County told us they were not. Later on, a viewer contacted KXAN and said she got the same response.
I was really concerned about the yellow ones and quite shocked at the only red one in your viewing area.
When we aired our map this morning, viewer Kay Arnold wanted to hear it herself, so she started calling clerks' offices and said most explained logistical delays, except that one in red.
The lady that answered the phone at San Saba told me flat out, we are not issuing those licenses based on our religious beliefs.
We asked the county clerk's office in San Saba to explain on camera, but they refused. But we went back and recorded. Will they be able to get that?
No, they're not right now, because I don't have the proper documentation, I don't have the proper forms.
The woman in the office told us this time that, like other counties, they hadn't received the proper forms. So what about Kay? Is there anybody here who would have said that?
No, there's not.
So it's not for religious reasons.
We're not giving any opinions to the TV.
Finally, she told us they are trying to get the forms. Are you taking steps to get the correct forms?
I'm trying to, if these people will leave us alone and quit bugging us.
Okay.
The sheriff's right down the hall here if you don't get out of this office.
Okay, are we breaking a law, or? In San Saba, Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.
You're bugging us. You're bugging us. Please, get out of here.
After last year's tragedy, traffic and safety are being highly emphasized. Chris Sadeghi has more on how the city plans to help keep drivers moving and keep pedestrians safe.
What is worse than waiting on a red light when nobody is using the green? Here's what's worse: multiplying unnecessary waits like this with South by traffic. But the city says they have a plan to keep the lights right.
We oftentimes can see a problem before or as it's developing.
Using traffic monitoring cameras, a traffic engineer will be able to see where things are backing up, and with the push of some buttons, control the flow of stop, 1, and go.
The traffic engineers also have the capability to adjust signal timing if necessary.
But traffic signals aren't just for drivers. APD is devoting more officers to pedestrian traffic. So keep an eye on that clock, because when time is up, you better be off the road.
Wait to cross Guadalupe at 17.
I don't want to hear that we're petty. I don't want to hear that what's going on with the city. You've been warned. We are going to enforce the pedestrian laws.
So walk this way, and pedestrians and drivers will stay safe and hopefully on the move. From Central Austin, Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.